The gentleman from Salem, Mr. Habeeb.
Mr. Speaker, I rise for a point of personal privilege.
Gentleman may proceed.
Mr. Speaker, members of the body, notwithstanding my reputation to the contrary of having an opinion on every bill and speaking on a lot of bills, I actually have never stood up on the floor and given a point of personal privilege, and this is one I wish I wasn't giving, and I frankly have no prepared remarks, but I feel compelled to stand up. And, Mr. Speaker, I do not want to make this super political, although there are obvious politics at play. Mr. Speaker, we hear a lot about the future of our economy, especially our economy in Southwest Virginia. We hear a lot about the war on coal. We hear a lot about federal regulations and state regulations, how they impact energy prices, the use of coal, and other things. And I think, Mr. Speaker, that a lot of people in this body, frankly, a lot of people in the Commonwealth who don't live in coal country just gloss over. They stop paying attention when they hear us talk about the war on coal because that's somebody else's problem. And yeah, maybe energy rates go up, but I live in a suburban area that we can handle the energy increases, and it's not my problem. And I hear a lot of people in here who just don't care when we talk about the policies that affect small businesses, families, and everyone else. So, Mr. Speaker, today in the Roanoke Valley, we got some really bad economic news. One of our biggest employers in the Roanoke Valley is Norfolk Southern. They've been a wonderful corporation to have in our town. They have a big facility, of course, in Norfolk. They've been in Roanoke for many, many, many years. They employ 1,700 people in some of the highest paying jobs in the Roanoke Valley and West. This is one of the companies that we take great pride in having and makes a huge impact on our economy. And, Mr. Speaker, today, just an hour or so ago, the heads of Norfolk Southern met with everybody who works in the Norfolk Southern building in downtown Roanoke and told all 500 of them that their jobs were gone. They were gone. They can move. They'll find a place for them in Atlanta. Some of them can go to Norfolk. But, Mr. Speaker, 500 of our highest paying jobs are gone. 500 families in our community who have houses, who have siblings with jobs. Their jobs are gone. And now, Mr. Speaker, don't get me wrong. I am not going to make something as complicated as a corporate restructuring decision into something as simple as blaming it on one man in Washington and his policies. I'm not going to do that because that's not fair and it would be untrue. But it is a fact that the policies out of Washington and, frankly, the policies out of some of our states have affected our country's ability to cleanly and properly burn coal. As we have done that, we have destroyed the economies of far Southwest Virginia. And to everybody in here who thinks that's their problem, it is not their problem. It's our problem. Every time one of those mines closes, families gets destroyed. And every time coal gets less burnable, less usable, less valuable, those trains stop running for Norfolk Southern. And, ladies and gentlemen, that's just not jobs at Norfolk Southern. That's the people who make the train cars. Guess where they're made? They're made in Roanoke. Those train cars that carry the coal are made in Roanoke. Those jobs are at risk, too. So next time you hear somebody talk about the war on coal or environmental policies or regulatory policies, I understand it's complicated. I understand there are pros and cons to decisions we make, but don't think it's somebody else's problem. Because today it's Roanoke's problem. Today it's the Roanoke Valley's problem. Today it's all of Western Virginia's problem. Tomorrow it's going to be your problem. As energy rates continue to skyrocket, your small businesses leave, and then you meet with 500 families who are moving to Atlanta or losing their jobs and uprooting their families because they can no longer serve their communities and the jobs they've had. So, Mr. Speaker, again, I don't want to make this super political, but there's no way to avoid that. What we do, what Washington does matters. Today, it is breaking the hearts of 500 families in the Roanoke Valley. I hope it doesn't come to your town. But understand the implications of what we do, the policies we support, the things that come out of Washington. Pray for the families in the Roanoke Valley today and West who are dealing with the news they've just heard. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.